Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live, and once again we're here with Dan Priest with Priest Insurance, and we're on the beautiful beach. And I tell you, you called me yesterday and you said, what's the water like? I said, oh my gosh, we just did some drone video and you can see the second and third sandbar. Did you catch any fish this morning, or did you have time to fish?
No, I didn't have time to fish.
So, you know, we were talking before we started this show about TWIA. Chandra and I have been doing some shows about it, and you said, you know, you said TWIA did exactly what it was supposed to do for Beryl.
Yeah, it did.
And we're talking about rate increases now, but really a lot of people have already had a rate increase because, you know, there was a comment, and we touched on this on the show. David made a comment, I had to up my insurance because my home value's gone up, so it went up. I forget what he said. I thought he said it was 10%.
Yeah, something like that.
Went up 10%. But now, and the average from what Chandra said is 13%, but now they're talking about a rate increase.
Right.
Well, if they get their 10%, now his insurance just went up 23%.
Right.
Is that, am I thinking right?
Yeah, you are. So there's a couple of things that happen with rates with Texas windstorm. One, you can have a rate increase, which means the cost per thousand goes up. And,
right.
And TWIA really hadn't had a rate increase per se in quite some time.
But they've had a building, what do they call that? Building increase?
Building cost increase.
Okay.
You know, and it's really reflective of the environment. Since Hurricane Ike, we go back to Hurricane Ike all the time because it seems to be a benchmark. You know, the cost of building a house was $2 a foot, maybe, okay? Or a little less in some cases. Now, you know, $2.50, $3 a foot, so the cost of building has gone up. So the same 1,000 square foot house you might could have put up for 175, 180, it now costs you 280 to put up. So that insurance to value thing is real, and it has to go up to keep pace with the average cost, because nobody wants the rates to go up, but if you have a claim, you want your house put back.
And they have to have enough money in the pot in order to cover that. Whether it's they've saved for 1 year, or maybe we've gone 4 or 5 years without a storm, they have to have that money in the pot. Now, we just had Beryl the 1st of July, and from what they're saying, it sort of deleted that pot.
It depleted it, yes.
Depleted it.
There are, you know, so they've been setting aside reserves for years, and every once in a while you get a storm. Just because we're here in Bolivar does not mean that they haven't had an issue in Corpus Christi.
In South Texas, Corpus or somewhere.
So those storms have come and gone, and overall, there's been enough money that's come in that has been set aside into the first layer of defense for claims payment into their reserves, okay? So now you had a little bit bigger storm in Beryl that caused some more damage, specifically down, as I understand it, on the southern half of Galveston.
Right, Galveston down to Matagorda.
Right, and those reserves got depleted. So now, if there's another storm, those reserves aren't going to be there, and they're going to have to go to the second line of defense in order to obtain some money, and then having to rebuild that money back into the...
And pay for that second line.
And pay for that second line, okay?
That's reinsurance, isn't it?
Yes, that's one of the ways, one of the lines of defenses they have.
They also have, if I'm not mistaken, a third defense where all the insurance sort of absorbs it or something.
Yeah, they share it out based on their market share in the
market share.
Yeah.
What's your feelings on where do you think this is going to go? It's been sent now to the insurance commission. Mm-hmm. It had to be plotted or sent in by the 15th of August. Now they have until October 15th or 19th to do their ruling on it, and then it goes from there to the governor. And so now's the time. They said during the TWIA meeting they had 1,500 inquiries, people talking about it. Only 2 of them were for it.
Yep.
The rest of them were against it. Now's the time to send your comment into the insurance commission or your congressman or you know, at the state level.
So the last time this happened, number one, there has been a rate increase that has been approved by the board, right?
Not yet.
By the
by TWIA, yes.
by TWIA.
Yes.
By the
It was
TWIA
it's not a majority vote, it's a 2/3 vote.
Right, and that was approved for a 10% rate increase. So what we're facing as consumers is that 10% rate increase plus the building increase, which could be 20-25% of your cost. So your building value is going to go up and your rate's going to go up. It's not really going to translate into 25%, but it's going to go. You're getting hit from two different ways. Yes, there are ways that you can talk about reducing that premium. However, this happened a while back.
Right.
A few years ago, I don't remember exactly the year.
I think 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, thereabouts. And so that goes from there to the
governor.
The governor. Yes, and then the governor has a right to refuse that.
Or he can manipulate
first
it, change it.
First it goes to the insurance commissioner.
That's where it's at now.
Okay, so depending on what they do, that person can approve or deny it and pass the buck up.
Right.
Then it goes to the governor, and the governor can approve or deny it. The last time it went to the governor, and he denied the rate increase.
Right.
So reach out to your congressman, reach out to your senators if you are in any way not in favor of this rate increase. And state your opinion and let them know what you feel like is coming up.
Yeah, and you can do that going to the Insurance Commission, Texas Insurance Commission, and then also if it passes that, we'll have a show on it. Probably Dan and I and Chandra, and we'll have information on where's the next step to send your comment on so that your voice can be heard, because you as a consumer here on the coastal region that has to have that, you need to be heard down here. So
David and Chandra had a really good discussion on this
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen that video, you should go back and look at it. You'll have it on YouTube or on your channel.
And we've got another one that I think we just played or fixing to play, talking about the steps and what the Coastal Coalition has done, which is a mixture of congressmen, senators, in this that cover this region. They've sent a letter in letting the Insurance Commission know we're opposed to this.
Yeah.
And so, at all the levels, and if we get enough in there, it'd be suicide almost to do a rate increase, but you have to be heard. You do have to be heard, and from my way of thinking, nobody likes insurance rates that go up, but it's just a fact of life, just like going to the store and buying groceries, and it's just going to happen. Texas Windstorm, from my point of view, has done a really good job in claims management over the years. They've done a really good job of putting people back where they need to be. Right. And they are correct with these building cost increases. Right. In my opinion, they're correct. That rate increase, I don't know. I don't know that that's really in the cards right now or something, and I would encourage you to voice your opinion to that respect. Here's my opinion. You're going to love this. Clearly. We had a building cost increase. Yeah. Okay. Went up an average, from what Chandra said, 13%. Why do we need a rate increase? You went up to cover the added building costs. Am I not seeing something right? No, just one of the things with rate is propensity. Okay, how many times claims are happening. So if they're getting some sort of feel that there's a propensity for more claims, that for me that would justify a rate increase a little bit. Okay. And I'm not privileged to all that information to know that, but that would be a rate issue. And I really aren't. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to be covering this more over the next month and a half, 2 months, as it goes through the steps, because with Dan being the insurance, I wanted to get his perspective of it, and then with Chandra being in the engineering and on the board, I wanted to get her perspective of it so that we know exactly what's going on with the TWIA insurance, because if it keeps going up, we're going to see some houses go up for sale just because people can't afford it. Just because it's going to be hard to afford, or there will be more in the rental pool, which is going to dilute that. So it's, where you are right now, and we've talked about using deductibles as a way to change your cost. But when you do that, and you have a storm like Beryl or a little bit bigger that takes your roof off, you file a claim, and your deductible on your 2,000 square foot house is, in fact, you're having a new roof put on now by choice because of Beryl. So, Dan, thanks for joining us on this beautiful day here on the Upper Texas coast. We'll be back with more information in the coming weeks on the TWIA insurance ordeal. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live with Dan Priest with Priest Insurance Agency. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye.